Smith Basketball Hall of Fame Saturday. Anthony and Howard also entered as part of the gold medal winning 2008 Redeem team alongside LeBron, Wade, and Kobe. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Still got those annoying mosquitoes, ants, crickets, and creepy spiders? Get them out for good. Call legendary Dewey Pest and Termite Control. Family run since 1929. Get a free inspection and evaluation at DeweyPest.com. That's DeweyPest.com.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
It was a good first week of the regular season for both of LA's NFL teams. The Chargers beat Kansas City Friday night in Brazil. The Rams beat Houston 14-9 in their season opener at SoFi Stadium. The Rams defense kept Houston out of the end zone. All of Houston's points came on field goals. Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford was 21 of 29 for 245 yards and a touchdown. Stafford became the 10th quarterback in NFL history to reach 60,000 passing yards. The LA Sparks kept their WNBA playoff hopes alive with a 91-77 win over the Dallas Wings. The Sparks have 2 games remaining to pass the Seattle Storm for the 8th and final playoff spot. Seattle was a game and a half ahead of the Sparks. The Dodgers snapped a 5-game losing streak with a 5-2 win at Baltimore. The Dodgers are back home tonight against Colorado. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
Are you ready to be a part of the conversation that will help shape our nation's future? Get ready to join us for the Left Coast Forum, Saturday, October 25th at LA Trade Tech, where progressive voices will come together to tackle the issues that matter most to working families across Los Angeles and beyond. From economic justice to climate action, from healthcare to housing, we're bringing together the brightest minds and most passionate advocates for real solutions and real change. With workshops, 2 major keynote addresses, and a closing reception with great music and good food. It's the Left Coast Forum, where your voice matters and your ideas take action. Saturday, October 25th at LA Trade Tech. Brought to you by KBLA Talk 1580 and the LA Progressive. The future won't wait, and neither should you. Mark your calendar now to be there and be heard. Stay tuned to KBLA Talk 1580 for more details.
Now you can look the word up again and again, but the dictionary doesn't know the meaning of friends.
And if you ask me, you know I couldn't be much help, because a friend's somebody you judge for yourself. Some are okay and they treat you real cool, and some mistake your kindness for being the fool.
We like to be with some because they're funny. Others come around when they need some money. Some you grew up with around the way, and you're still real close to this very day.
Homeboys through the summer, winter, spring, and fall. And then there's some we wish we never knew at all. And this list goes on again and again, but these are the people that we call friends. When we first went out together, we barely knew each other. We had no intentions on becoming lovers, but in no time at all, you became my girl. Me and you one-on-one against the world. Talking on the telephone for hours at a time, and else I was at your house or you was at mine. And then came the arguments and all kinds of problems. Besides making love, we barely knew each other. We had no intentions on becoming lovers, but in no time at all, you became my girl. Me and you one-on-one against the world. talking on the telephone for hours at a time, and else I was at your house or you was at mine. And then came the arguments and all kinds of problems. Besides making love, we had nothing in common. It could have lasted longer cause it started out strong, but I guess we went about the whole thing wrong. Cause out of nowhere it just came to an end because we became lovers before we were friends.
Friends, how many of us have them? Friends, ones we can depend on. Friends, how many of us have them? Friends, before we go any further, let's be friends. You say you and your girlfriend were so tight. You took her out with you and your guy one night. She even had a set of keys to your home, and you shared mostly everything you own.
But as she shook your hand, she stole your man, and it was done so sweet, it had to be a plan. Couldn't trust her with cheese, let alone your keys. With friends like that, you don't need enemies.
You wonder how long it was all going on, and you're still not sure if you're glad he's gone. You say, well, if she took him, he was never mine. But deep inside, you know that's just another lie.
And now you're kinda cold towards people you meet, cause of something that was done to you by some creep. But nevertheless, I'll say it again, that these are the people that we call friends.
Friends, how many of us have them? Friends, before we go any further, let's be friends. Friends, how many of us have them?
KBLA Talk 1580. Haha. How's that for a little Monday energy? Alrighty. Oh, I meant to say, happy heavenly birthday to Eazy-E. His B-Day was Sunday. My friend, he was actually my friend. I know that sounds really obnoxious. Yeah, a personal friend of mine, but he actually was my friend and colleague. I helped him stand up Ruthless Radio here in LA. I helped to get it through the door. So shout out to my friend Eazy-E, my unlikely friend. Yes, the feminist and the NWA guy were actual friends, and I miss you, Eric, every single day. So happy B-Day. And we're on some hip-hop. Yes, we are. We're being joined in studio by a highly respected creative director. He's known for bringing urban essence to music videos, corporate brands, films, and TV projects. He's also a part of the culture, not just an observer or a vendor of the culture. He's a pioneering figure. He was a backup dancer. He was a new age innovator in hip-hop. He got his breakthrough in the mid-'80s when he was a pioneer and was selected to become half of the first hip-hop dance duo supporting the rap group Whodini, and thus the song Bklyn Jones. Welcome. Good morning.
What's happening with you?
Thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me. This is an honor to meet you.
It's great to meet you as well. It's weird when you've been part of a culture since, well, I won't say since the beginning, but since your beginning, since my beginning, right?
Yes.
It's almost hard to quantify all the different ways that you've interacted, contributed, and also benefited from that culture, right? Mm-hmm. I'm sitting here reading your bio. Oh, he's a dancer, fashion, this, that. But I know there's a whole bunch of stuff that's not in the bio that's part of the story.
Yeah. It's I look at it like this to sum it up. I always go back to the ancestors, and I go back to the ones who paved the way for us. You know, not only if you was a dancer or had anything to do with fashion, anything like that. I give it up to like Ozzie Davis and Ruby D. Mm-hmm. Cicely Tyson representing Harlem. That young sister with that beautiful melanin skin and wearing her braids and being unapologetically who she is. The dance theater of Harlem. The things that I was raised in New York City.
Dance Theater of Harlem will be here in LA Thursday, by the way.
There you go. So just as a youth growing up in New York, you know, you would hear them advertise them on WBLS, but you would hear the conversations in the communities because that was a big deal. You know what I mean? So a lot of my inspiration in wanting to be a part of the entertainment space came from the conversations that I heard within our community. And those people played a huge part, like listening to my grandmother and my aunts talk about Cab Calloway and, you know, Lena Horne. These conversations were talked about at the dinner table on a daily basis. It was that thing.
Okay, a lot of stuff coming in there. I know you're an East Coast guy.
Yeah.
So you probably are good with the 52-year birthday of hip hop. I don't necessarily accept that. I feel like we don't know the exact origin of hip hop. Like you mentioned Cab Calloway. Does it start with him? Does it start with Flip Wilson? Does it start with, you know, the revolution will not be televised? Is it the Watts Prophets? Or is it definitely DJ Kool Herc in one party in one place? I just don't buy it.
That's interesting you say that. That's real, because I've always heard these great stories. We had a roller rink in Brooklyn called Empire. My mother used to skate there when she was a little girl with her sisters, right? Empire Roller Dome they labeled it, when you went inside, you saw the sign that says Empire Roller Dome, the world's greatest roller rink, right? It had over 52 speakers in it, right? But it's the same people that designed the speakers in Studio 54 and all the disco stuff. So anyway, to make a long story short, it's like they always said that hip-hop started there with DJ Flowers. Grandmaster Flowers, where Grandmaster Flash got his name from. And this was in 72, 73, 74.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So, and it really goes back to the ancestors, because, and it goes back to those who paved the way, like Cab Calloway.
Right. Or we could go all the way back to the griots of the motherland. I mean, people think I'm trying to be funny, but I'm not. The oral traditions of our community go way back.
Exactly.
So if y'all want to say DJ Kool Herc, I'm not trying to take anything away from him.
That's right.
I'm not buying the 52 years. I'm sorry. I just don't.
Yeah, because we had Grandmaster Flowers.
Right.
So him and Kool Herc, they're around the same age. You know, everybody was looking for the perfect beat at the same time.
I'm laughing too, because my friend Davey D was telling me, well, maybe it might not have been Dave. It was someone else. Some hip-hop historian who shall go unnamed was telling me that people are lying about their age in the reverse now because they want to say they were the first one. Like, you know, oh, I started rapping in 1972 when they were born in like 1970 or something. Like, people are faking the funk because they want to say that they were the first ones.
Yeah. You know how everybody want to be first in line.
Yeah.
If everybody on stage, who's going to be in the audience?
We can alternate.
That's right.
We can all come to your show if you come to mine.
That's right.
But did you ever think that not just hip hop, but that generation of rap would have such longevity? I mean, you look at LL hosting the VMAs last night, right? That's longevity right there.
Yeah. Well, knowing LL, knowing James Todd Smith, I know why he is where he is, because he was a workaholic. He worked hard. Okay. We was on tour, and like everybody had to do radio and get up in the morning and be on time and be punctual. I look out the hotel window and I see LL running in the parking lot with one of his bodyguards.
Oh, he's a Capricorn.
Drinking water.
No wonder.
You know, his work ethic is serious.
Yeah.
He's very, very serious about where he's at. So to look up 30 years later and see him hosting the VMAs, that's what...
I forgot you guys worked together. I interviewed him. It was one of my early interviews when I was doing television.
Yeah.
And you know, and then I saw him on stage, a show, I guess it was last year. I mean, he pretty much looks the same.
Yeah.
You know, the effort that takes, whatever, you know.
His discipline.
Outside of our 30s.
Listen, his work ethic, him working out, exercising, that's his thing. That's his therapy. That's what keeps him smiling and keep him going.
Yeah, works for me.
He's dope.
I mean, that's what I do, too. I work out because I have to get up at this hour, and I need my brain to work and stuff. But LL is like a force of nature.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And you know, because you're a dancer. I mean, if you're going to put your body through all of that, you're going to pay a price.
Yeah. And then when you get a certain age, you know how to balance it out. Like you said, you get up in the morning, you exercise, you have to be here on the radio, you work out.
Well, I exercise in the afternoon. I'm not going to get out. Get up at 4. I can't get up at 3.
Right.
But yeah, you got to maintain is what you're saying.
Yeah. It's that's a part of your therapy. It helps you feel good. Look at you. A lot of people our ages, they're just, sometimes people throw in the towel, or their comfort zone is having a Twinkie under their pillow. If that's what you like, that's what you like.
Don't give up your cute. Don't give up your energy, though. Why would you if you don't have to?
Exactly. And it's about the
with
people you're around. There you go. Motivative. You pick your tribe. A lot of great inspiration. All you're going to do is thrive.
So he puts in the work.
He puts in the work. But
I think it's a lot of folks, because if you look at the influence, and I'm happy to see a lot of people getting their flowers, now, partly thanks to social media, partly thanks to people's obsession in this culture with history and who did it first.
Yeah, I think it's a great thing for this younger generation. A lot of them don't know. Like, they don't even know that Ice Cube is a rapper.
Ice Cube or Ice-T? Ice Cube?
Ice Cube.
Okay.
They just think that Ice Cube is
but he just dropped
from the movie Friday.
Oh,
so
I
you
got
have
you.
like the 15, 16. Like, they don't know that LL Cool J is a rapper.
Huh.
They just think that he's an actor on this television show.
Right.
So it's that thing where, think about this. When we were 14, 15, 16, a lot of the legends were being honored, like Sammy Davis Jr. and that whole era. And then when we turned like 25 years old, here comes the Aretha Franklins, and they're starting to pay homage to them and honor them on these grand levels, and the Patti LaBelles, and it's like we were looking at them. So now with this generation of the 19-year-olds, they're getting to see what we grew up watching, and what was our like you talking about Eazy-E.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Eazy-E is probably maybe 60 years old if he was alive now. So to pay that full, and thank God we have social media and it's being used in such a good way, because these kids don't even know who Dr. Dre is.
I guess my kid must be investigative then, because my kid is 20. And my kid knows all that stuff.
But look who his mother is.
Yeah, well, okay, there's that. We're talking with Bklyn Jones. We'll continue the conversation when we come forward. We got a lot to talk about. It's hip-hop time around here. It's always hip-hop time around here, but extra specially much this morning. KBLA Talk 1580.
The station you turn to when you've had it up to gear with cultural incompetence. KBLA Talk 1580.
With a KBLA Talk 1580 editorial, I'm Dr. Nicolai Corte. Let's preserve black land stories before they're lost forever. I want to personally invite you to be a part of something historic. As journalist in residence for the Black Land Lost Narrative Archive Project, I've joined forces with powerhouse attorney and social justice champion George Fothery, the man who helped make history by delivering justice to the Bruce family in Manhattan Beach, securing the first known return of land unjustly taken from black owners by a local government. That victory was monumental, but it was just the beginning. For generations, black families have acquired land through grit, faith, and determination, only to lose it through violence, legal loopholes, forced sales, and systematic racism. What's been taken goes far beyond dirt and deeds. It's the erasure of wealth, identity, and legacy. That's why we've launched the Black Land Lost Narrative Archive Project, a national effort to collect, protect, and preserve the stories of black land lost before they're buried, forgotten, or erased altogether. Because there's power in telling black stories, there is resistance in remembering, and there's justice in being seen and heard. This is where you come in. We're inviting you to be a part of this historic black narrative archive. If you or someone you know has experienced land loss, displacement, or forced property sales, your story deserves to be heard and remembered. Your story belongs in this archive. Your truth matters, not just just to your family, but to our collective future. Visit blacklandloss.org today. Fill out our simple intake form and add your voice to the National Archive of Remembrance, Resilience, and Reckoning. Let's make these stories live on, not in whispers, but on the record. With a KBLA Talk 1580 editorial, I'm Dr. Nicolai Corte, and as always, we welcome your feedback.
See website for details. Bills Happen is not a lender and does not make credit decisions. Hey, bills happen. So when you need extra cash fast, go to billshappen.com. Have you been turned down? Are your credit cards maxed out? Do you have bad credit? Go to billshappen.com. All you need is a job and a checking account. You can find a lender and get up to $5,000 cash as early as tomorrow at billshappen.com. Billshappen.com is the smart way to get a personal lender now. So if you need extra money for car repairs, medical bills, family emergencies, whatever you need cash for, go to billshappen.com and you can get the money you need as soon as the next day, up to $5,000. At billshappen.com, our process is safe, secure, and all online. No one to deal with in person, and Bills Happen does not charge you any fees to use our service. It's easy. When you need a lender, just remember, when bills happen, go to billshappen.com. billshappen.com for the cash you need now. billshappen.com.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DiPrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
Yes, indeed. You know, I always appreciate you waking up with me, but you're not just waking up with me today. You're waking up with Bklyn Jones in the studio. That's Maisha, in case you're on YouTube and you're wondering, who is that beautiful woman? That's Maisha. She's just, behind the scenes. But look, there's so much to talk about here. You pivoted to fashion.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's a pivot. Tell me that story. You started, what drew you into the whole world of hip hop, and how did you move from dance to design?
It kind of it's all the same playground. It's all the same thing, the fashion and the music and the turntables, the MCing. So it all played a huge part of the look and feeling and what we were doing, what we were curating organically. I wouldn't say uniform. It was a certain aesthetic that we leaned towards that complemented the MC, the DJ, and the party rockers, and it was like we were these little, to the outside, we were a bunch of little dirty ghetto bastard kids, and it's the way we communicated. We knew we were fly.
Yeah. I mean, it's understood. I know it's the same playground, but I'll tell you this, Bklyn. I am not going to be designing anything because we all have, you got to know your limits, right? Like I'm great on the mic. I used to rap when I was a little kid. And that's how I got my television show and all that stuff. A lot of different things, but I know my limits. You won't find me, designing. I probably won't be drawing anything. I'm not going to be singing. Like, it's not going to happen. So we can be on the same playground, but we know where our talents lie.
Yeah. But what I meant by that was everything was happening at the same time.
Yeah.
So, if you was rocking your Pumas or your Adidas or whatever you was doing, and like I always had a thing where I always brought things white because I dyed it. So we were creating what the evolution of hip-hop, what they call hip-hop fashion is now.
Yeah.
And we were making and cutting and sewing and having fun with it and creating this whole world that is a $1 trillion industry right now.
It's crazy to me.
Like from Lee jeans to the girls with the door knocker earrings to Timberland, and watching that thing before the world knew about Timberland's boots, before the people in corporate knew, like, they're not chopping trees in Brooklyn, in New York City. Why are our sales so up? What is this? To fast forward to see it now, you have a 30-foot Timberland in the middle of Manhattan somewhere, and they're benefiting off of the culture in a good way because the inner city made it popular.
I mean, the crazy thing is that now the mainstream fashion is hip hop fashion. It's like, it's not, people don't even notice it anymore because it's kind of the norm.
Yeah.
I've been doing some writing, and I was looking back at when my very first big interview was Run DMC, who you also worked with.
Yes.
And I remember at the time, I went and had a friend of mine who was a spray can artist spray a shirt for me, a sweatshirt, because we didn't have gear back then. You couldn't just go to the store and get hip hop gear. I was like, hey, I was trying to be real fresh, Yeah. Such a dork, because Run DMC was coming, but you didn't have those options. Now it's the norm. It's like the default.
And like you just said, that's why I said it's on the same playground, because you knew where to go.
I knew where to go for sure.
It was like you had to go to your Harriet Tubman route and go underground and make it happen. Remember the days where you went to the mall and you had your old English lettering on your sweatshirts or your T-shirts,
right?
And you had your roller skate T-shirt, and then it evolved to where the airbrush artists, like let's say Shirt King Fade and Nike and the cats here in Los Angeles, and you got to see Bugs Bunny and Bugs Bunny girlfriend with the big earrings on and with shell toe Adidas.
Right.
So that right there was the beginning of all of it. Was the spray can, the airbrush artist that took Daffy Duck and he had grills.
You're talking about of the fashion piece.
There you
go.
go.
Absolutely.
And that's what made it cool and hip.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to wear it on a shirt because you couldn't afford a big gold chain. So you had the opportunity to have an airbrush T-shirt with a big fat gold chain on it, and now you was a part of the conversation.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Right.
So just the evolution of it all, that's where it started in our urban playground.
Yeah.
And it played hand in hand. When you went to the jam, you went to the block party, wherever you did, you was dressed apart. They looked at you and said, oh, she's down by law. He's down by law. Oh, look at that fly girl. It was an unwritten code. Like, they know what time it is, because we came up in the era early on in the early 80s. Think about it. It wasn't called hip hop. It wasn't called hip hop.
It wasn't, yeah.
It was just, I'm going to the jam. I'm going to that hip hop party. I'm going to the.
Well, now remember, I'm a West Coast kid, so it comes a little later for us. But my mom is from New York, so that's how I got early exposure. She'd take me there sometimes. We were at New Eureka Cafe, and I was like, "What is this? What are they doing? Oh, snap! That's dope! I gotta figure out what this is." And so they want to know. Okay, we only have a minute till news, traffic, and sports. You can continue on the other side. Kwamel is asking, has hip-hop forgotten how to be underground?
Not at all. You just have to know where it's at. If you know, you know. You have so many amazing underground artists, and you just got to dig in the crates, and that's the beautiful part about it. You just can't see it on the surface.
Yeah, I mean, and if you look at the way the record companies are dominating everything now, you have to be underground if you want variety.
Yeah.
If you don't want trap all day long and night, all day and night.
You don't have to listen to it. There's a lot of other artists out there that's making amazing music. I mean, if you really look at it, the Roots are mainstream because of Jimmy Fallon's show, but at the end of the day, they still underground because Black Thought is still spitting that spit. And if you know, you know.
Kwamel says the grill's never caught on in L.A. Yeah, that's true. But we got other stuff going on, of course. I want to talk, speaking of the Bay and New York, when we come forward, I want to talk a little bit about the whole East Coast, West Coast dynamic and where we are with that right now. We did a whole convo on that about a month ago. We can follow up right now on KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. President Trump is defending Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. after a tense Senate hearing.
He's a very good person, and he means very well, and he's got some little different ideas. I guarantee a lot of the people at this table like RFK Jr., and I do.
Kennedy denied claims he pressured the CDC on vaccines and called ex-director Susan Menares a liar. Over 1,000 Health and Human Services staffers want him to resign. Prince George's County, Maryland police say black 19-year-old Dakara Thompson, missing since August 23rd, was found dead near Route 50. Surveillance showing Thompson getting into a car led to a Bowie home, and 35-year-old Hugo Hernandez Mendez is now charged with her murder. And Tupac murder suspect Keefe D has been sentenced to up to 40 months for a jailhouse fight. He claims he was attacked and didn't fight back. He'll stay locked up until his murder trial begins in February. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Still got those annoying mosquitoes, ants, crickets, and creepy spiders? Get them out for good. Call legendary Dewey Pest and Termite Control. Family run since 1929. Get a free inspection and evaluation at DeweyPest.com. That's DeweyPest.com.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
It was a good first week of the regular season for both of LA's NFL teams. The Chargers beat Kansas City Friday night in Brazil. The Rams beat Houston 14-9 in their season opener at SoFi Stadium. The Rams defense kept Houston out of the end zone. All of Houston's points came on field goals. Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford was 21 of 29 for 245 yards and a touchdown. Stafford became the 10th quarterback in NFL history to reach 60,000 passing yards. The LA Sparks kept their WNBA playoff hopes alive with a 91-77 win over the Dallas Wings. The Sparks have 2 games remaining to pass the Seattle Storm for the 8th and final playoff spot. Seattle was a game and a half ahead of the Sparks. The Dodgers snapped a 5-game losing streak with a 5-2 win at Baltimore. The Dodgers are back home tonight against Colorado. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
There's nothing like when you get that part from eBay and it just fits. Yeah, the first time. So you can do less of this and get right back to more of this. At eBay, you'll find all the parts you need, guaranteed to fit, at prices you'll love. Sounds good, doesn't it? eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminds you that we keep us safe. Every girl deserves a chance to shine. That's the belief behind Forgiving for Living, Inc. Since 1999, this organization has been empowering at-risk girls ages 13 to 18, helping them overcome behavioral and mental health challenges. Founder Wendy Gladney's personal journey inspired the mission to give girls hope and purpose through the power of forgiveness. Through their ambassador program, workshops, and annual conference, Forgiving for Living has touched over 3,000 young lives, providing mentoring, life skills, training, and tools for building self-esteem and confidence. You can make a difference. Visit forgivingforliving.org to donate, volunteer, become a mentor, or find help for a young girl in need. Forgiving for Living, Inc., building brighter futures for young girls. Visit forgivingforliving.org today. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
So many things, big and little, make you uniquely you. Your hobbies, dreams, career, family, and more. Addiction to drugs, including opioids and stimulants, can strip these away from you. Recover your life. Choose treatment for drug addiction and get back to what matters most. Find a provider and proven treatment option that's right for you at ChooseChangeCA.org. Recover you.
September is World Alzheimer's Month, a time to shine a light on a public health crisis that deeply impacts Black families. 1 in 5 Black adults ages 70 and older is living with Alzheimer's disease, or AD, and the risk is twice as high compared to white adults. But AD isn't just forgetting a name or losing track of time. Signs of early AD could be repeating questions, missing appointments, or struggling with bills and daily tasks. These things aren't a normal part of aging. Here's the good news. Treatments are available that may help if AD is diagnosed early. If you notice changes in memory or daily routines, whether in yourself or a loved one, don't wait. Early diagnosis and intervention are key to managing AD effectively. To learn more about AD and a potential treatment option, visit treatalsearly.com. That's treatalzearly.com to learn more about the signs and symptoms and a potential treatment option. This message is brought to you by AZI.
Thanks for starting your morning off with a voice that speaks truth to power and the powerless, getting to the heart of what matters most in our community. This is where authentic conversation meets real action. From breaking news and politics to culture and community solutions, this is where you hear perspectives you won't hear anywhere else. This is where we come together, get informed, and make change happen. You're inside First Things First with Dominique DiPrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
Good morning, sunshine. You make my day.
This is KBLA Talk 1580, where hate loses and love wins.
Yeah, the behind-the-scenes convo. I wish you could share in that, but maybe another day. Bklyn Jones is here. So that's still that engine of hip hop, that engine of style, fashion, arts, music is still going. It's still going strong. And now, how do you view it now that it's in the mainstream? Is there still, because we can still, even though it's so-called mainstream, the new stuff is always bubbling up from the streets, right? And you could still get it wrong.
Yeah. You could definitely get it wrong. But what they say, if it's on you, it's on you, and you can't wipe it off. Right? Yeah,
my version of that is hip hop is like the mafia. Once you get in, you can never get out.
You could never
You can never get out. Yeah. But that's your craft. That's your profession. Mm-hmm. So how do you, you were sharing that you were there with Run DMC in the room when they signed the contract with Adidas.
Yeah, I was right there watching Jason Mizell, a.k.a. Jam Master Jay, sign that piece of paper.
Wow.
I was right there. It was a concert the day before on the Raising Hell tour, 1986 Raising Hell tour. We had a concert at the Long Beach Arena.
Yeah.
And it turned out to be very bad for a lot of people. And unfortunately, it wasn't great history that was made because of the fights that broke out. I'll never forget, we were on stage performing Whodini, and we was on, and Jaleel kept saying, like, we were looking in the audience and we saw this things going on and the people were moving, and I was like, what's happening? And they were getting closer and closer to the stage, and we saw the people in the rafters, and we would do like 3 different clothes changes in our show. So we got down the funky beat, and Jaleel looked, he was like, we got to get off a stage. And I never forget, we literally jumped off the stage in the back. Me and DJ Pooh had just met like maybe 2 weeks earlier. So Pooh was with me with all his homeboys from his neighborhood. And we literally ran in the dressing room, the Beastie Boys, Timex from up your way, Timex Social Club.
Yeah.
LL, all of us were in one room. Magic Johnson was there. It was all kind of people at this concert. And LAPD was behind us with their guns drawn. And we had to barricade ourselves in this big, gigantic room and put tables on the door because they were just running through the backstage. It turned into one of those things.
Right.
And Run DMC never got to perform.
And those are the things that made it where partly, and part of it was the racism that made it where it was hard at a certain point to even have a hip-hop show.
Yeah, and still doing arenas every night, 40, 50,000. We selling out
Wow.
shows every single night. We were selling out concerts on Monday and Tuesday nights. But the crazy thing about it was Run DMC never got to perform, but because it was their tour, Run DMC Raising Hell tour, they got the blame for it.
Right.
So the next morning, they're signing their deal with Adidas. And the press was asking them questions about the concert, and Jam Master Jay kept saying, we wasn't even on stage performing. It wasn't Whodini's fault. It's just something that happened that we couldn't control.
Have you met LA? I mean, yeah. But I remember for a long time it was like, oh, well, there's going to be violence. It's a rap show, which I would always push back on. This life, stuff happens at shows sometimes.
It happens.
But the fashion industry continues to be inspired, putting it charitably, by hip hop.
Yeah.
How does that work? How do you work in that space? How does that work for you or against you?
Well, just to give it a little bit more context, and just to kind of give the people to really understand what I'm about to say. A lot of people hear about Dapper Dan now, but there's another thing where I was there. You know, I was there when Danny was putting together the pieces for all of us. And if you knew where he was at, you knew where he was at to go get it.
Right.
But I literally watched him take a Gucci or whatever the prints were, and he created the backpack. He created that bucket hat with that MCM on it, because you couldn't go in the, you didn't go to the Gucci store or the Louis store because you couldn't buy that. You couldn't buy a pair of Louis pants with the Louis Vuitton all over it. It was just regular plain material, but he took it and he escalated it and he took it to that level. So he created this world where we see a Gucci jacket. He literally made the cardigan sweaters with the Louis Vuitton print on it because they didn't have it. So he created the garment. So now when you fast forward, you see Balenciaga and it's all across the sweatshirt. You see Gucci and all of these people, they're benefiting off of what he did in 84, 85, 86.
And what you've done since.
Exactly. And just being...
How does that feel?
I look at it now and it's like, man, we've done so much. I was able to consult the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, the Wayans Brothers show, because back then you had the costume designers. They wasn't our color, so they didn't know.
I mean, mostly they're still not.
There you go. And you had all of these costume designers that were African-American women that worked on these television sitcoms, but they had a costumer that was in front of them, and they were the stylists that was working on these shows. So me and my partner, Kimball, KB Shot, we were able to, we have relationships with a lot of these different entertainers, from if it was Will, if it was Marlon and Sean, they was like, yo, seeing what we were wearing, they was like, yo, bring that on the show. Bring that on the show. We want to wear that on the show. So we literally took the Mecca brand, Aniche. First we started off with Walker Wear with the homegirl, April Walker. Shout out to her. April hit me up, paged me and said, you still talk to Fresh Prince? Because we didn't call Will Smith back then. It was always the Fresh Prince.
The Fresh Prince, of course.
So it was like, nah, I ain't talked to Prince since I moved to Los Angeles. What's up? Look, I need you to do some product placement for me. I'm like, product placement? What are you talking about, April? What's product placement? She said, look, I want you to take some Walker Wear T-shirts and sweatshirts and ask him to wear it on the show. I said, all right, I'll ask him. I reached out. I hit up the homie Omar, Charlie Mack. I said, listen, I got some stuff from April. Like, yeah, bring it over. We want to wear it. It was that easy. And then I sat back and I watched him wear it. He came through the door on the show. He was wearing Walker Wear. I said, wait a minute. Then I got a call one day, rest in peace, my good friend Phil Pabon. He says, hey, I want you to, me and Tony Shelman, we got this new line called Mecca. We want you to do the same thing you did for April on the Fresh Prince and on the Wayans Brothers. I was like, all right, cool. So I did it. And I gave it to the fellas and they wore it that easy. And at that point, DJ Pooh came, because DJ Pooh was not only producing these records for the West Coast Giants, for Ice Cube and America's Most Wanted and Snoop, he was also directing the music videos. So one day Pooh hit me up and was like, look, bro, hey, man, I want you to do the wardrobe for this video. I'm like, why you want me to do the wardrobe? He's like, because you know how to do that stuff. Just style them and you just dress the Dog Pound and Snoop and Dre and whatever. Just do what you do. And next thing I know, I'm doing wardrobe. Me and my partner Kimberlyn Santana, we created this company. So now we were dominating all the music videos on the West Coast.
And you did film too.
And we did film too. And when Pooh went into film, he did The Wash, he did 3 Strikes, and next thing I know, all of these brands are reaching out to me. All of these urban brands were like, "Hey, we want to work with you guys." So now I'm marketing. I'm doing the branding and marketing for these brands, and I put them in the music videos, and I'm putting them in all the movies. I'm having this stuff written into scripts, and then came wheel companies, and people started reaching out, going, "Hey,
Wheel companies,
wheel
wow.
companies." It was a company called Lexani. Nobody knew who they were. A friend of mine said, "Hey man, these guys got this brand, you know, they trying to get on." Took a meeting at Overbrook at Will's office with my partner Charlie Mack, with my guy Charlie Mack, and he said, the guy came through, he said, "Look, I got this wheel company. I want to be in movies, I want to be in music videos, I want to take it to the next level." And Charlie called Jesse Terrero, one of my Puerto Rican homeboys from the Bronx, and Jesse wrote him in the movie Soul Plane. That quick.
It wouldn't be that easy though for anybody. I mean, it's easy because you have the relationships, and it's easy because people know you know. If Joe Schmo off the street comes and say, "Hey, wear my shirt," they're not just going to walk through the door with it the next day. That's just not how it works.
Yeah, you know, it's the relationships.
Yeah.
It's like what you do in radio. You just show me a clip of you doing your thing, and you was on your Oprah Winfrey before Oprah Winfrey, right?
Well, maybe simultaneously, but yeah,
You
sure,
know,
in the hip hop world, way before her.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and you understand the smell of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you understand that smell when you open up that 12-inch and you got that 12-inch to play on your radio show, and that plastic and what it smelled like and the groove of it. You understand the culture. You from
Right.
Oakland.
Right.
Oakland is like,
Well, technically San Francisco, but
Frisco,
it's all the Bay.
the Bay Area.
It's all the Bay.
It's like New York / London / it's all of that. The weather
Right.
change.
Right.
You wear coats and you know, and then in the summertime it's hot summer. You know, Oakland, it's a certain energy up there. You know, it's fly. So you come from somewhere that's like, yo, Oakland and Frisco is dope.
Yeah.
They get it. It's socially conscious. It's the music culture. Oh my God. It's like, that's the Bay Area.
Mhm.
These are legends up there. It's like you guys had Sly and the Family Stone.
Right.
That's hip hop.
Back to my give me a name, a date. But now that it's moved into the mainstream, how does that impact you, your business, and what we think is cool?
It's no different. It's evolving, because in the last 10 years, mainstream, you know, the corporate brands, they know where the power is at.
Well, then that's different because they have learned that. I mean, I think about Gucci and the minstrel show sweater that they had, which was such a problem for the company, and some of these racist ads that we've seen for like H&M and other ad brands. And I think that they still need the help. There still has to be a you in the room to say, I don't know if that's such a good idea.
And that's why they went and grabbed London. Paris came to Harlem because they made that mistake where they took a Diane Dixon, something that he did 30 years ago, in the jacket that he designed and made, and then Gucci copied a Louis Vuitton, something that he did for Diane Dixon, and they copied it. So they caught a lot of flack for that. So what did they do? They wanted to make good because social media went crazy.
Yep.
So they brought their behinds from Paris, and he said, if they want to talk to me, you got to come to Harlem. He said, I want that building, and I'm going to do my haberdashery there, and I'm going to do what I did on 125th Street 40 years ago when y'all shut me down, and I'm going to do it here.
Full circle moments.
First day they opened up, Elton John brought the whole collection.
Wow.
Everybody came in and was like, because they heard about it.
Yeah.
So it's like, to answer your question, it's like to see the minstrel piece, and they have to humble themselves and come to the source.
That's poetic justice right there.
You dig what I'm saying? Because it's like, yo, these are the people that, like, we get it now. And it's like everybody doesn't understand Fly Out the Gate. Everybody knows that gets it. Andre 3000 is dope. Tyler, the Creator, is dope.
Right.
No matter where they from. It's like they're dope. And it takes people. Missy Elliott is phenomenal.
So it's not about East Coast or West Coast. It's, I mean,
Come on,
do you think that conversation is really over?
That's for people that just want to have that conversation.
Mm.
I said this thing from the beginning. I said it's the ancestors.
Yeah.
It's all about them. Like, why are we sitting back having a conversation about something that has helped you as a journalist, as a radio personality, as somebody that got on the radio at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning talking to her community for years, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
How selfish is it for me to say, have some back and forth nonsense about East Coast, West Coast? You got to listen to the records that were made back then, looking for the perfect beat. Universal people looking for the perfect beat. Don't just dance to it. Listen what Bambaataa and them was saying. That inspired Roger Clayton, Uncle Jam's Army. Period. He said to Russell Simmons, come out here with your groups. Run DMC, the Fat Boys, and Whodini had to stay and spend the night in Roger's record shop. At the beginning, whatever was happening with the hotel rooms, they came to the West Coast before it was called hip-hop.
Yeah.
And got on stage and rocked the house and gave the people a show. Nobody's tripping about no East Coast, West Coast stuff to me.
Right.
I don't even hear that conversation because we all came together as a community before Motown and before back to Jack Johnson and I mean, what's his name? All the old blues singers.
Mm.
All the old blues singers from the 20s, 30s, and 40s.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. The Bessie Smiths of the world.
The Bessie Smiths. Come on, it's like...
Yeah.
It's like we have to respect our ancestors and what they put down for us and how they curated this for us. So I think it's really, to me, it's really silly to talk about who did what and what coast and who did what on what coast.
And who did it first.
And who did it first.
Wow, Bklyn Jones. We'll have some closing thoughts when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks Vapors when you need more comfort for yourself. Use as directed.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Imagine a Los Angeles where everyone can thrive, where communities have access to the resources they need to succeed. That's the vision of Detours Mentoring Group, Inc. They're dedicated to improving life in LA County by providing educational support, employment assistance, and spaces for community engagement. By 2050, they want LA to be the best place to connect, create, learn, live, and play. They're working toward an education system that's well-resourced and culturally responsive, becoming a hub for artists and innovators, and making sure everyone has access to healthy food, quality healthcare, and safe housing. It's about building a future where we all have the chance to succeed. We invite you to learn more about their mission and get involved with Detours Mentoring Group, Inc. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
My ride smells just right, just right, just right, just right.
Y'all gotta try that Febreze car.
just right, just right, just right. La 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 la. With up to 40 days of consistency, all over breeze, car clips right on your VIN. You know my car's my happy place. Keep that smile on my face when it smells just right, just right, just right. Breathe happy for breeze. La 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 la.
The conversation continues right now with Dominique DiPrima on First Things First.
All right, we're talking with Bklyn Jones. And let me say this, because I didn't realize that you really don't do interviews. So thank you for coming and doing an interview. If everybody said they don't do interviews, I'd be out of luck. I'd be sitting up here talking to myself all day, which I will, but I'd much rather talk to you. So thanks for coming in and making an exception for us.
Honor to finally meet you, listening to you at 4:35 in the morning over the years, and it was like, man, she's talking some real good stuff. Like, this is important.
We do our best, and I appreciate the support, especially for KBLA, because as you know, it's a black-owned venture. There's only 5 black-owned talk radio stations in the whole country. This is the only one on the West Coast, and so we appreciate the support. Absolutely, yeah, it is real crazy. So, how can we support you? How can we support the work that you're doing? Follow you, buy your whatever you're selling. I don't know. Because I think it's important. We see it. We were talking about people getting their flowers. I think of people finally giving Rakim the love he deserves, for example. And so I want to be part of that.
Yeah, we're doing some really cool things in Los Angeles. Diving. We're doing a 5 mics concert series here in Los Angeles with the iconic, legendary MC Razcast.
I went to one of those shows. It was great.
Yeah.
And I saw Razcast there too.
Yep. And my man Sean Swoops is the curator of it.
He was on the show too, talking about it.
Yeah. And I'm like behind the scenes. Me and my partner walking. We're coming through with like LL and Nas, and we revving things up, and we're having a lot of fun with it. We're having a lot of fun with it. That's just.
So we can follow. I know we can follow Sean Swoops on social media. Or can we follow you?
Yep, and I just got on social media.
Okay, finally broke down. Okay.
Yeah, I finally broke down.
Oh, it's BRKL.YN Jones on Instagram.
Bklyn Jones.
Bklyn.YN Jones. Okay.
So I guess when my daughter did it, she had to break it down like this because Bklyn was taken, but I spell it BKLYN, but it's BRKL.
Following you now.
.YN Jones. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and if they want to find you, they will, because that's how folks do it. So you just got on socials. I just followed you, BRKL.YN Jones, and we can keep up. We might see you at the 5 mics. Thank you so much for stopping by. It's really, really fun to talk to you.
It was an honor to talk to you. And real quick, we're dropping Beats and Eats cooking show with the iconic, brilliant MC, producer, DJ Quick, and I'm executive producer of the show.
Oh, congrats.
With my partner, Christopher McDonald. And, we're about to have some fun with it.
That sounds amazing. We'll look for the info on your IG. Tavis Smiley is here. He's up next. He's got an incredible Monday show, as usual, packed with great guests. So I'm out of here. But look, I'll see you tomorrow. Don't forget to tap in on social media. I'm at DiPrima Radio, DIPRIMA, and then radio. We are at KBLA 1580. Like my mama used to say, history is now, and we're making it together. Until next time, one love.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. President Trump is defending Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. after a tense Senate hearing.
He's a very good person, and he means very well, and he's got some little different ideas.